Hello YouTube, welcome back. Otaku here. We're going to be continuing on page 293 of The Grapes of Wrath. Before we begin, please grab your eucalyptus and let's begin the inhalation ritual. So stupid. But, you know, I think I'd rather sit there and have fun around here than stick to some kind of boring schedule. Alright. Clink, clink, clink. The family's coming around. Slowly but surely. We are... We're making strides. I'm actually gonna finish this bowl, pack another one, and smoke from that one before we begin. I've been busy working on my album here and there. Today was not a day of accomplishing that, though I hope that by the end of this I do feel the strength to work on that. And please don't forget the waters as well. I have mine right here. And this is almost over. See, we're gonna be cutting it a little closer towards the edge because we're reaching the 2-minute mark. I want to have this ready for future endeavors in case, something goes on and we're just like, whoa, let's take a moment to process all that there. We're almost done with this. Just like Bob Ross, we love to have happy little accidents around here because that's what life's all about. Part of it at least. And all right. Definitely started this. What, Lee? Hold on, let me. Yeah, I'm that bad today. Yeah. Page 293 of The Grapes of Wrath. Let's go. They're trying to make us cringe and crawl like a whipped bitch. They're trying to break us. Why, Jesus Christ, Ma. There comes a time when only way a fella could keep his decency is by taking a sock at a cop. They're working on our decency. Ma said, "You promised, Tom. That's how Pretty Boy Floyd done. You know his Ma. They hurt him." "I'm a-trying, Ma. Honest to God, I am. You don't want me to crawl like a beat bitch with my belly on the ground, do you? ? I'm a-praying. You gotta keep clean, Tom. The family's breaking up. You gotta keep clear, please." "I'll try, Ma. When one of them fat asses gets to working me over, I got a big job trying. If it was with the law, it'd be different. But burning that camp, that ain't law." The car jolted along. Ahead, a little row of red lanterns stretched across the highway. I know it's just about half of the page right now, but I'm going to take a little swig. "Detour, I guess," Tom said. He slowed the car and stopped it, and immediately a crowd of men swarmed about the truck. They were armed with pig handles and shotguns. They wore trench helmets and some American Legion caps. One man leaned in the window, and a warm smell of whiskey preceded him. "Where do you think you're going?" He thrusted a red face near Tom's face. Apologies. Tom stiffened. His hand crept down on the floor and felt for the jack handle. Maul caught his arm and held it powerfully. Tom said, "Well," and then his voice broke to a servile whine. We're strangers here, he said. A servile wine? I'm not too sure how they want me to go about using it. I'll look up that word later and let you know. We heard about there's work in a place called Turlard. Well, god damn it, you're going the wrong way. We ain't gonna have no goddamn Okies in this town. Oh, they're like that. Tom's shoulders and arms were rigid, and a shiver went through him. Maul clung to his arm. The front of the truck was surrounded by the armed men. Some of them, to make a military appearance, wore tunics and Sam Brownie's belts. Tom whined. Which way is it then, mister? Question mark. You turn right around and head north, and don't come back till the con's ready. Tom shivered all over. Yes, sir, he said. He put the car in reverse, backed away and turned. He headed back the way he had came. I knew it was gonna be that even before I turned the page. I turned the page, 290. Go right along. Wait, what the heck? Page 294. Maul released his arm and patted him softly. And Tom tried to restrain his hard, smothered sobbing. Yeah, I'm sure he was like really distraught from that. He probably, if he made the wrong move, his whole family was just about to die. That's the worst thing anybody could freaking gone through right then. He was just trying to get somewhere where the family could be safe. Now he doesn't know what to do. Don't mind him, Maul said. Don't you mind. Tom blew his nose out the window and wiped his eyes on his sleeve. The sons of bitches! You done good, Maul said tenderly. You done just good, alright? Tom swerved into a side dirt road, ran 100 yards, and turned off his lights and motor. He got out of the car carrying the jack handle. Where you going? Maul demanded. Just gonna look. We ain't going north. The red lantern moved up the highway. Tom watched them across the entrance of the dirt road and continued on. In a few moments, they came to the sounds of shouts and screams, and then a flaring light rose from the direction of the hoverbill. Oh, snap. The light grew and spread, and from the distance came a crackling sound. Tom got to the truck again. He turned around and ran to the dirt road without lights. At the highway, he turned south again, and he turned on his lights. Ma asked timidly, Where are you going, Tom? Question mark. We're going south, he said. We couldn't let those bastards push us around. We couldn't. Trying to get around the town, though, we're gonna go through it. Yeah, but where are we going? Wait, that was Paul. Yeah, but where are we going? Question mark. Paul spoke up for the first time. That's what I want to know. Gonna look for that government camp, Tom said. A fella said you don't need no deputies in there. Ma, I got to get away from them. I'm scared I'll get killed. Or I'll kill one of them. Easy, Tom. Ma soothed him. Easy, Tommy. You done good once. You could do it again. Yeah, and after a while, I won't be no decent left in me. Easy, she said. You gotta have patience. Why, Tommy, us people, we go on living when all them people is gone. Why, Tommy, we the people that live. They ain't gonna wipe us out. Why, we're the people. We go on. We take a beating all the time? I know, Tommy. Maybe they'll make us tough. Rich fellas come up and they'll die, and their kids ain't no good, and they die out. But Tommy, we keep a-coming. Don't you fret now, Tommy. A different time's coming. Aw, look at Ma trying to cheer him up. I love her. How do we know? Question mark. I don't know how, Ma said. They entered the town, and Tom turned down to a side street, avoiding the center. By the streetlights, he looked at his mother. Her face was quiet and a curious look into her eyes like the timeless eyes of a statue. Tom pulled out his right hand and touched her on the shoulder. He had to, and then he withdrew his hand. "Never heard you talk so much in my life," he said. "Was never so much a reason to," Ma said. He drove through the side street and cleared the town, and then he crossed back. At the intersection, a sign said 99 quotations. He turned south on it. "Well, anyways, they'll never shove us north," he said. "We still go where we want, even if we gotta crawl right on the night." The dim lights fell along the broad black highway ahead. Whew, we did it. Chapter 21, page 269. Alright. This is so, rude of human society. We're really seeing, some decent portrayal of, scummy individuals. It's not so much scum as it is inhumane. It's only the people that truly want chaos that should be shunned. The people that do want to just protect their family and have a good life, there should be some kind of regulation upon our society that allows for people to find ways to prove that they're just doing this out of the goodness of their family, and in return they provide some true means of retribution of getting to use that, because it is a privilege. I'm sure we could be mature enough to actually find a way to help these people and get aided back, like a give and take situation. It's not so doesn't have to be so cutthroat. Alright. Sometimes it does, but not all of it needs to be cutthroat like what's happening now. Chapter 21, page 269 of The Grapes of Wrath. The moving, questing people were immigrants now. Those families which had lived on a little piece of land, who had lived and died on 40 acres, had eaten or starved on the produce of 40 acres, had now the whole West to rove in. So it's what, this another expedition, whatever this is. We're not looking at the Joels right now, and we're just gonna have to get through it. Alright, let's do this. West to rove in, and they scampered about, looking for work, and the highways were streams of people, and the ditch banks were lines of people. Behind them more were coming. The great highways streamed with moving people. There in the middle and southwest had lived a simple Argarian folk who had not changed with industry, who had not farmed with machines or known the power and danger of machines in private hands. They had not grown up in the paradox of industry. Their senses were still sharp of the ridiculousness of industrial life. And then suddenly, the machines pushed them out and they swarmed on the highways. The movements changed them, the highways, the camped along the roads, the fear of hunger and the hunger itself changed them. The children without dinner changed them. The endless moving changed them. They were immigrants, and the hostility changed them, welded them, united them, hostility that had made the little towns group and arm as though the repel an invader. Squads with pick handles, clerks and storekeepers with shotguns guarding the world against their own people. In the West, there was panic where the immigrants multiplied on the highways. Men of property were terrified of their property. Men who had never been hungry saw the eyes of the hungry. Men who had never wanted anything very much saw the flare of want in the eyes of the immigrants. And the men of the towns in the soft suburb country gathered to defend themselves, and then reasons themselves that they were good and the invaders bad, as a man must do before he fights. They say, these goddamn Okies are dirty and ignorant. They're degenerate sexual maniacs. These goddamn Okies are thieves. They'll steal anything. They got no sense of property rights. And the latter was true. For how can a man without property know the ache of ownership? ? And the defending people said they bring disease. They're filthy. We can't have them in the schools. They're strangers. How'd you like to have your sister go out with one of them? ? The local people whipped themselves in a mold of cruelty. They had formed union squads and armed themselves with clubs, with gas, with guns. We own the country. We can't let these Okies get out of hand. And the men who were armed did not own the land, and they thought they did. And the clerics who drilled at night owned nothing, and the little storekeepers possessed only a drawer full of debts. Okay, make sure everything's still good. Yes. Debts. But even a debt is something, even a job is something. The clerk thought, I got $15 a week. Suppose a goddamn Okie would work for 12, and the little short shopkeeper, how could I compete with the debtless man? ? And the immigrants streamed onto the highways, and the hunger was in their eyes, and the need was in their eyes, and had no argument, no system, nothing but their numbers and their needs. When they had worked for a man, 10 men fought for it, fought with the low wage, and that fellow would work for 30 cents. I'll work for 25. If he had to take 25, I'll do it for 20. No, me, I'm hungry. I'll work for 15. I'll work for food. The kids, you ought to see them. Little boys like coming out, and they can't run around. Give them a little windfall fruits and they'll bloat up. Me, I work for a little piece of meat. And this was good, for wages went down and the prices stayed up. The great owners were glad, and they sent out more handbills to bring more people in. And the wages went down and the prices stayed up. And pretty soon now we'll have a serfs again. And now the great owners and the companies invented a new method. A grain owner bought a cannery, and when the peaches and the pears were ripe, he cut a piece of fruit below the cost of raising it, and a cannery owner had paid himself a low price for that. Next page. Fruit, page 298. Fruit, and kept the price of canned goods up and took his profit. And the little farmers who owned no canneries lost their farms, and they were taken by the great owners, the banks, and the companies who had owned the canneries. As time went on, there were fewer farms. The little farmers moved into towns for a while and exhausted their credit, exhausted their friends, their relatives, and they too went onto the highways. And the roads were crowded with the men ravenous for work, murderous for work, and the banks worked their own doom, and they did not know it. The fields were fruitful, and the starving men moved on the roads. The granaries were full, and the children of poor grew up rachitic, R-A-C-H-I-T-I-C, and the pustules of Plegura, P-U-S-T-U-L-E-A-S, of P-E-L-L-A-G-R-A, swelled on their sides. Their great companies did not know that the lines between hunger and anger is a thin line, and the money that may have gone to wages went for gas, for guns, for agents and spies, for blacklists, for drilling. On the highways, the people moved like ants in search for work, for food, and the anger began to ferment. Chapter 22. Page 299. How we looking? Okay, let's smoke a little bit. Hope you are liking that. Oh, that was freaking awesome. That was awesome. I can't believe I just read that fast. Oh, we get back to the jewels of this chapter. Chapter 22, page 299. It was late when Tom Joel drove along a country road looking for the weed patch camp. There were few lights in the countryside. I'm going to read a little slower, bring it back now, y'all. Also, hydration check. Don't forget, take a little bit of water. There were few lights in the countryside. Only a sky glare behind shows the direction of Bakersfield. The truck jiggled slowly along, and hunting cats left the road ahead of it. At a crossroads, there were little clusters of white wooden buildings. Ma was sleeping in the seat, and Pa had been silent and withdrawn for a long time. Tom said, "I don't know where she is. Maybe we'll wait till daylight and ask somebody." He asked for a boulevard signal, and another car stopped at the crossing. Tom leaned out. "Hey, mister, know where the big camp is at? ? Straight ahead." Tom pulled into the opposite road a few hundred yards and then stopped. A high wire fence faced the road, and a wide-gated driveway turned in. A little way inside the gate, there was a small house with a light in the window. Tom turned in. The whole truck leaped in the air and crashed down again. "Jesus," Tom said. "I didn't even see that hump." A watchman stood up from the porch and walked to the car. He leaned on the side. "You hit her too fast," he said. "Next time, take it easy." "What is it, for God's sakes?" The watchman laughed. "Well, a lot of kids playing here. You tell folks to go slow and they're liable to forget. But let them hit that hump one time and they don't forget." "Oh, yeah. Hope I didn't break nothing. Say, you got any room here for us? ? "Got one camp. How many of you? ? Tom counted in his fingers. "Me, and Paul, and Ma, and Al, and Rose Sharon, and Uncle John, and Ruthie, and Winfield. Them last two were kids." "Well, I guess we can fix you. Got any camping stuff? ? "Got a big tarp and a couple beds." The watchman stepped up on the running board. "Drive down to the end of the line and turn right. You'll be in number 4, sanitary unit." It's a sanitary unit. "What's that? ? "Toilets and showers and washboards there." Ma demanded. "You got washboards? Running water? ? "Sure." "Oh, praise God," screamed Ma. Tom drove down the long dirt row of tents. In the sanitary buildings, a low light burned. "Pull in here," the watchman said. "It's a nice place. Folks that had it just moved out." Tom stopped the car. "Right here? ? "Yeah. Now you go and let the others unload while I sign you up. Get to sleep. The camping committee will call you in the morning and get you fixed up." This is amazing. This is actually... Wow! We got somewhere. The family's safe. The family's okay. Oh, fucking Connie, you stupid bitch. Fucking preacher, you swear to fucking God. I swear to fucking God. Grandpa and Grandma would have freaking loved this. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, no, the others. Tom's eyes drew down. "Cops?" he asked. The watchman laughed. No cops. We got our own cops around here. Folks here elect their own cops. Come along. Al dropped off the truck and walked around. "Gonna stay here? ? "Yeah," said Tom. "You and Paul unload while I go to the office." "Be kind of quiet," said the watchman. "There's a lot of folks sleeping right now." Tom followed through the dark and climbed the office steps and entered a tiny room containing an old desk and a chair. The guard sat down on the desk and took out a form. "Name?" "Tom Joel." "That your father?" "Yeah." "His name?" "Tom Joel." "2?" The questions went from how long in the state, what work has been done. The watchman looked up. I'm not nosy. We gotta have this stuff. Sure, said Tom. Now, got any money? I don't know why it changed his voice to the, alcohol shopkeeper, but... Okay, we're at the 25-minute mark. We're gonna stop here at page 301. Got any money? A little bit. You ain't, destitute? Got a little. Why? Well, the campsite costs $1 a week, but you could work it out. Carrying garbage, keeping the camp clean, stuff like that. We'll work it out, said Tom. All right, page 301 of The Grapes of Wrath. Thank you very much for being here. If I can get away with it real quick. All right, y'all take care. Peace.